welcome back to Plant Mamacita. So in today's video we are going to be talking about the infamous Swiss cheese vine slash Monstera Adansonii. This baby, it is so amazing. It is one of my favorite plants in general. So I kind of want to go ahead and talk about this baby today. This one is a propagation that I've had for about 3 months now. So you can see all the baby roots growing out. It is not really, I need to pot it up real soon, but that video is coming, I promise. It's coming up. Today I do want to talk about this baby because I feel like deep down in my heart I finally figured out the key to success for this guy. So I have had 1, 2, 3 Monstera Adansonii in my lifetime. I had the narrow form, then I got this form, and then I got another narrow form, and this one's just pretty much the wide leaf form, and the other one's called the narrow form because it has narrower leaves. So I have both of those. The first one I got, it was, I don't know if I really purchased it in the best condition, but it wasn't really putting out a lot of fenestration in the leaves. What that means is that it wasn't developing leaves that had these holes, so those little holes in your leaves are called fenestrations. And yeah, so that one didn't really put out a lot of leaves like these. It's supposed to look like this, but it was putting out leaves that did not have any fenestrations whatsoever, so they were just regular leaves. And that is cute and pretty, but I was wanting the Swiss cheese look, so I kind of struggled with that one. I still have it to this day. It is really huge, really beautiful, but it really doesn't have any holes in the leaves still to this day. I really don't understand. I think it's just the tissue form of the plant in general. It doesn't have that, it doesn't have those genetics in its leaves to put out and provide me with those fenestrations. So in general, it just pretty much has regular leaves, which is still stunning and beautiful, and I adore it still, but I wanted this. This is what I was going for. So I ended up picking up this guy like about 2 months after I purchased that one, and whew, okay, so this one we went on a journey with each other. When I got it, it was in a big lush 6-inch pot. It's still very lush to this day, but it was so big. It was growing and vining and just amazing. Then I decided to put it on a trellis. Then I decided to overwater it, and here we are. I chopped it up, put it into this little mason jar, and luckily the Monstera, being the Monstera, it grew beautifully. So I get a second shot with this guy, and I'm extremely happy. The other one is doing great. It has more of those Swiss cheese leaves, so I love that one. I'll probably insert clips here. But yeah, so I'm really happy, and I feel like I figured out the key to keeping those fenestrations on those leaves. So let's start off with watering. Watering, it doesn't like to go totally dry. It is a tropical plant, so it likes to be watered whenever about the top 2 inches of soil is dry. What I do is just stick my finger in there. If it's dry to my second knuckle, then I water it. Or if you don't like to get your hands dirty, you could get a skewer or a bamboo stick or any kind of wood that won't like be too crazy to put in there, but you could poke that into the soil, measure up 2 inches, and then see from there. Whenever you pull it out, if the soil is sticking to the stick, then it's fine. It doesn't need any water. That means it's still moist, so it's sticking on. So it's sticky, so pretty much you don't need water. But if you pull that skewer out and it is dry and the soil comes off fairly easy, then it probably is thirsty. How you water it, you get your watering can or whatever you use, and you just coat the soil on top and let it drain. Then you do it again and you let it drain, and make sure you have a good draining soil as well. And that's how I water mine. And since we're there, we're going to talk about the soil. It likes good drainage. It doesn't need succulent soil, so that would be too dry, or it would go too dry and it would probably decline. but it likes that little happy in between. Likes perlite, orchid bark, peat moss, and if you want to add a little bit of earthworms casting just to have it fertilized throughout, you know, the time it's in that soil, you go ahead. I personally have not experimented with that yet, but I do plan to whenever I pot this baby up, and we will see how that works. Also want that drainage so it doesn't get overwatered. Whenever it gets overwatered, you're really going to notice that a lot of leaves are going to turn yellow, roots are going to turn black and mushy, and that's just not good. It can cause it could cause a lot of problems with the plant. It could cause not only molds, but it could also attract a lot of pests that you do not want, because pests are annoying and they can transfer to all your other plant babies, and you just don't want that. And then the most important thing I want to talk about in this video is humidity. So if you really want your Monstera to grow like a monster and put out those fenestrations, it's going to want some more humidity. Whenever I had the first one that was not putting out a lot of fenestrations, I noticed that it was not that humid in my room. I didn't have a lot of plants at that time. I pretty much just had a couple plants, like probably about 20 plants, but they were kind of like scattered around. So some tips to keep some humidity in your room for those humidity loving plants. You could huddle your plants a little bit closer together. They kind of feed off of each other. So like the moisture that they have, it's just like a whole scientific thing, but the moisture that they have can relay onto the other plants that are surrounding it, and they just kind of, you know, create that tropical humid environment for each other. And then also, another tip for humidity, misting your plants. I mist my plants every single morning. I use filtered water and I just mist, and I really just make sure that the whole entire plant is dripping pretty much, you know, with just moisture, and it loves that. It really does soak it up whenever you do that. And then also whenever you mist all your plants at once, it makes that humidity last even longer if they are bunched up together. Another way to create humidity is you could purchase a humidifier. I use a diffuser. I've been using it for the past 3 months now, and it has done wonders with my plants. Now that I have that, I can have begonias in my house. I can have calatheas. Oh my god, not too many, because the humidity from the diffuser itself does not go that far. So because it's kind of a small one, is beneficial just to the plants that are surrounding it, you know, and it's kind of in the range of where it's hitting. But I've noticed that it has really helped with my calathea. It has really helped my narrow-form Adansonii, and it has grown like super fast. Like it's starting to put out a new leaf pretty much like once a week, and that is really good actually. But it's done really well for my plants. Sorry, if you don't have room for a big humidifier, you could consider buying a mini diffuser and just have it. You could even have it put out the oils with the smell. You can have your room smelling really pretty, or you could just use the humidity that comes out, you know? So that's a little tip. You could buy them anywhere really these days. You could get them at Ross, you could get them at TJ Maxx, you could get them at Walmart, you know, stuff like that. So I highly recommend that. And if not, last thing I would recommend is, or no, not really last thing, you could put it in the bathroom if your bathroom is lit, like really lit, like, you know, because they really like that bright light. But yeah, putting it in the bathroom, putting it in the kitchen, anywhere where there's consistent running water, they will love that as well. And the last thing for humidity, you can put a pebble tray. I actually use that with my narrow-form Adansonii, and it has really encouraged it to grow a lot as well, along with that diffuser. I just put a light layer of pebbles and I fill it up with water in a little catch tray, and then I put the pot above that pebble tray, and as the day goes on, that water will evaporate into the air and also go upwards up to the plant, and the plant will eat that up. It's really amazing. We're going to move on to lighting requirements. Lighting for this baby loves bright and direct light. You could probably have it in low light, but it will not grow as fast, and you have to be careful with the watering. Go really easy on the watering if they're in low light conditions in your home. Like I said, grow a lot slower. The fenestrations probably won't be as strong, and the leaves won't be as big. So if you want a big leaf Monstera Adansonii with those beautiful fenestrations and you want it to grow fast like a Monstera should, you should put it in bright light conditions. And last thing I want to talk about is fertilizing. Pretty much really easy, once a month in the growing season. So for me, that is from March to the beginning of October. I live in Texas, so our fall isn't really here until the end of October because our temperatures, it just takes a while for them to drop, you know. So I have a long growing season, but that's amazing for my plants and I'm excited to see how they do, especially now that I got this care routine down with this beautiful baby. And that's pretty much it. That's all I want to talk about today with Monstera Adansonii. I hope these care tips helped anybody out there that has a Monstera Adansonii. Give this video a like if you enjoyed this video. Also subscribe. It would really mean a lot to help this little plant channel grow into something very beautiful here. And also subscribe if you're into planty things because this is what this channel is all about. And until next time, bye!